Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. Please make sure you subscribe to me on Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod, and I'm also on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. Hope everybody's staying dry. This rain been kicking up over the last couple of days. Felt like I ain't seen the sun in a few days, but it's all good. Got some shit we got to get into. Had some playoff football happen this weekend. Had some new music drop. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start off this show talking about these Nike Minds 001, man. And let's speak about it. First of all, shout out to Nike for the marketing. Genius marketing as far as this slide, with the balls at the bottom, if y'all can see. And if not, my apologies. You could definitely see all the images online. But I was first taken aback by the design. Design is fire. Design is fire. Off-rip design is fire. I plan on getting the black pair and the white pair. But let me tell you this. The comfort, they gas the fuck out the comfort. They gas the fuck out the comfort. They had the whole thing about, the balls at the bottom, and, it kind of, plays on your brain and all that. So, what surface you walking on and all that type of shit. Let me tell you something. It ain't really doing too much. It's not really changing anything. It's not. And I've worn more comfortable slides and sneakers before. Like I said, the Ultra Boost definitely got these wiped down. I'm sorry. The Ultra Boost definitely got these wiped down. It's cool comfort. It's not what they marketed to be. But again, I get it. The way they promoted it, the way they marketed it was genius. It was genius. They definitely got you on that. But outside of that, it's kind of like, I'm cool on it. As far as the comfort. Now, like I said, look-wise, these shits is fire. I plan on wearing these, just as a comfort shit. I might do a couple of more fits with it. But the comfort, you ain't getting no crazy comfort out of these, at least in my opinion. Some people would say you got to wear them a few times, to break them in so you get the real, feel of the comfort and all that. But outside of that, bro, they cool. They just cool for real. It's not nothing crazy. Like I said, I love the Solar pair. I love it. That was the first one I seen, so automatically I was going to go off rip and cop them. But nonetheless, it's cool. It's cool. That ball shit, trust me, that shit. And everybody's feet is different. Everybody's feet is different. Everybody got different pressure points. Everybody got certain shit on their feet that, have them making, oh no, like these shits are really crazy. To me, these shits are just cool comfort-wise. And you definitely going to have to go a size up. Do not get your true size in these. They will not fit. You definitely have to go a size up. Now with slides, of course, they don't have, sizes like that. So say, for example, you wear a 9.5. You will be good with a 10. I wear a 10.5. I got an 11, and I'm good with the 11. But you definitely won't have to go a size up. Now, they do happen to have a half size. I haven't seen them go to full size. It's really not going to make that much of a difference. But salute to Nike for the marketing, because y'all did a good job on that. But just on feet, walking around in them, the balls ain't really making up no difference, man. They not. Like I said, I wore more comfortable sneakers. They all hard, though, look-wise. I love the design. They did a good job on it design-wise. I fuck with the design, where they went with it. I love the colorway that they went with it as well. And like I said, I plan on getting a black pair, and I plan on getting a white pair as well. But I definitely wanted to speak about that because that was one of the drops that happened this week that a lot of people was talking about. I think they dropped on, when did they drop? On the 8th or the 9th or something like that. I think they retailed at 95, if I'm looking at it correctly. Yeah, I think they retailed at 90, at 95. If you go on GOAT, they might have it for like 180 or some shit like that, of course, at the market prices. But other than that, man, it really wasn't that crazy, bro. It really wasn't that crazy. I was expecting some out the world shit as far as his comfort, the way they was, the way they was marketing it. But no, man, this shit just cool. It's cool. But like I said, this is just my view. This is my opinion. I am into sneakers, so I feel like I'm more than right to give my opinion on this. But go ahead and buy a pair yourself and see what you think about it. You get what I'm saying? Like go ahead and buy you a pair yourself. See what you think about it. See what you think. But all in all though, like I said, because I don't want to keep saying the same shit over and over again. If you want to get fits off in these, you're definitely going to be able to get some fits off in these. You're definitely going to be able to get some fits off. You're definitely going to be able to be stylish in them, you know, if you put that shit on. And yeah, man, salute to Nike, man. These shits is hard. But comfort, ain't really like that. So let's go ahead and get in. Let's go ahead and get into this new shit. So J. Cole dropped a promo video. I think that was, when was that? Wednesday? I think he dropped a promo video Wednesday of him washing the car in one of those car wash self car washes outside. You usually see a lot of those in the South. Like me being in Charles, South Carolina, we definitely have a few of those. We all know Cole's from Carolina. So it showed him washing, I think it was like a Lamborghini truck or something like that, in one of those self car washes or whatever. And then the next day, on Thursday, we got a record. They didn't have a title of it. It was just This 2 Track 2. And the video dropped. He dropped the video on his Instagram, of course, you know. And funny because I just spoke about that a few pods ago, how music videos are not premiered the same anymore. Music videos are premiered by artists on their socials. So off rip, he dropped the video on his Instagram account. I think it was under his burner for the promo of this album, The Fall Off. But he dropped the video on his Instagram, and off rip, fire. That's all I really got to say about it. The visual representation for this record was fire. Cole is speaking from basically a perspective of his life, but in reverse. So if you listen to the record, he's basically rapping his life in reverse. And the video was shot in reverse too. Shout out to whoever did this video, because the video was fire. So of course, if you listen to the first verse is basically talking about how his grandchildren are basically dropping him in his grave, and the video is shooting out kind of like this, and it's just basically pulling out from how he rapping, and he basically is him in whatever scene that it is, and it's basically him narrating the shit. So it was a dope concept off rip. I love the way J. Cole did this whole video, the way he rapped it, the whole nine. That shit was just genius. And of course, when you get to the end, it's him going back into his mother's womb. And if I had to give J. Cole a rating on this video, 12 out of 10. Like, he killed it. The song in itself, I give it a 10 out of 10. Like, the whole concept was dope. It was major. And I am ready for this album to drop on February 6th. Now, that's kind of crazy that he dropping on February 6th, because we all know that's Super Bowl weekend. So that's major for him to be dropping an album the weekend of the Super Bowl. That is very, very major. And being in the fact that says that it's This 2 Track 2, everybody's saying this is most likely a double disc album. So what do I anticipate for J. Cole on a double disc album? If you're leading off with this, it got to be a classic. If you're leading off with something like this, it has to be a classic. I'm sorry. If you come in like this, Cole, and you're telling us this is This 2 Track 2, it better be fire. Now, for quantity purposes, I'm hoping it's more so like this one is 8 to 9 tracks, and then this 2 is about 8 to 9 tracks. I really don't want it to be heavy on some 12 to 15 on each side. That's a lot. That's a lot. Y'all know me. I love albums that stay in between that 12 to 15 track range. So if this one is about 8 to 9 tracks and this 2 is about 8 to 9 tracks, I'm cool with that. But I'm definitely anticipating some classic work, especially coming off the heels of the year Cole had. We all know how Cole handled 2024. You know, he kind of laid down a little bit 2025. It's crazy we're already in 2026. That whole shit happened 2 years ago. That's fucking crazy. But nonetheless, we all know how we've been treating J. Cole over the past damn near 2 years. In terms of how he handled the battle and everything like that. Now, let me say this, because we all know this is a topic. You can't avoid it. Now, me personally, and I said this when J. Cole took the diss back, I'm cool with J. Cole rapping. He's still one of the best rappers this game has seen. He's one of the best rappers in his generation. But as far as all of that big dog talk, I'm the best rapper, I'll kill it. Respectfully, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that shit. And I feel like I'm fair in saying that. That does not mean this takes away from anything J. Cole did on that record. Because again, I give that record a 10 out of 10. That record is fire. But as far as anticipation for this album, bro, just save the competitive bars. Just save the competitive bars. Because the simple fact that J. Cole took that diss back, nah. I can't get with it, bro. Had J. Cole kept that diss and got smoked and he was still talking that best rapper shit, I wouldn't be mad at it. Because the simple fact that you fought. But the simple fact that you went out there, you did what you did, and you took it back, from that part of it, I just don't want to hear that. But I'm going to still, of course, I'm going to listen to the album. I'm going to grade it fairly. I'm going to give it its just due. It's just that aspect of it, just save the competitive bars. That's all I'm saying, bro. Just save the competitive bars, because when it was time to show and prove, you took it back, bro. You took it back. You took it back. And I can't, I wouldn't be fair if, and this would go for anybody. It's not a matter of you losing. I could care less if you lose. It's how you perform. And the 7-minute drill, and I still listen to Might Delete Later. Don't get it fucked up. I still listen to, that's a great project. Might Delete Later is a great project. But just going forward, because when you was begging for the smoke 4 or 5 years, when it was met, you took it back. You took it back. And I got to be fair, because I would do it for anybody else. And again, had he just let it live how it was supposed to live, and let's say he didn't respond, I wouldn't be tripping, because at least he showed up. If he got hit with a counter that was just like, you know what? Hey, I ain't really got nothing for it. Cool. And he can still pop his shit. But the simple fact that he took that shit back, that's crazy. But I'm excited for this album. I'm excited for this album. It's highly anticipated. You setting the bar high with this track right here, too. You setting the bar real high with this track right here. Like, you setting it real high, because that's how, and again, that's how you supposed to kick down the door. Don't get it fucked up. That's how you supposed to kick down the door, especially off the year that J. Cole had. Especially off because everybody's questioning him. Everybody was on him for how he left the battle and how that whole situation went. So I'm not mad at him coming at like this. But if he's setting the bar like this, and that snippet at the end, definitely was talking about. And when I heard that beat drop, I think J. Cole is ready to show and prove as far as why he's still one of the best rappers, which he still can do. For sure. I don't doubt his ability at all. I'm just anticipating if you come in with a double disc and you leave with this track, it got to be some classic shit, bro. It got to be some classic type shit. For sure, for sure. And everybody's saying this is J. Cole's last album. I'm not believing a rapper no one when they say this is his last album. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that no more. Jay-Z said the Black Album was his last album. It wasn't his last album. It just wasn't. Anybody else who I can think of? Cheese. Shit, The Game said his last album was Rap Say. I think that was his last the album that he said was gonna be his last album. Raps Born to Rap. Born to Rap wasn't his last album. So, this rumor circulating saying that this is gonna be J. Cole's last project, I'm not hearing it. I don't believe it. I believe J. Cole loves rap that much to where he'll probably have a 2-3 year hiatus. He'll be back though. There's not one part of me that believes this will be J. Cole's last album, bro. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think J. Cole loves rap that much. I don't believe he wants to stay away for that long. Now, if he wants to take a few years back, I wouldn't be surprised if he took a 3-4 year hiatus. Focus on Dreamville. But this being his last album, I don't see it. And it looks like that because, of course, the title, the fall off, and, all that other shit. He's been in the game 20 years. You get what I'm saying? His first official album came out 2011. His first mixtape dropped 2007. So we talk about 19 years in the game for J. Cole for real. But I just don't see him going away. I just don't see it. I do not see J. Cole going away. I don't see the fall off being his last album. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. But I'm always excited when he dropped, man. And I think 2026 is going to be a great year for rap again as well. 2025 was another dope year. That year was owned by the Vets. You get what I'm saying? The 2025, the 80s and 90s rappers, they showed their ass for 2025. So 2026, we got Iceman coming. We got J. Cole with the fall off. So I'm anticipating some dope work from Cole, man. But I just can't. I don't want to take the bait on that whole this is his last album shit because of course that was one of the speaking points as well when this shit came out. But all in all though, this record, man. Back to this record. This record was fire, man. This record was fire. This record was fire. And just a concept. One thing I can trust Cole in doing when he has a concept, like it or not, he sticks to it. He's never gonna give you a project that's not theme based. That's one thing I can tell you about J. Cole. J. Cole, when he gives you an album, it's definitely gonna have a theme to it, whether you like it or not. So it's not gonna be all over the place. You're not gonna get you just never got that from Cole. So when he has something that he's sticking to, he's gonna stick to it. So I'm interested to see what type of features are gonna be on here. What type of features are gonna be on here? We all know we probably ain't gonna get one from Drake. Probably ain't gonna get one from Kendrick. We all was starving for the big three to have that record, and that record was supposed to be first person shooter, but we didn't end up getting that, for obvious reasons. But I don't know. I think it's just one of those projects where we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know who the fuck he's gonna have on here. I believe he'll probably have Boz on there. A couple of guys from Dreamville. Jid. But outside of that, I'm interested to see who he's gonna get on here. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. But and Cole is amazing, and I think that's what made everybody so upset with him, with how he handled the battles, because we know this is how dope he is. We know this is how dope he is in terms of delivering and getting busy. And the fact that he handled it the way that he did, and then you come back and you rap like this, is why people say that he could have rapped with any one of the other two out the big three. Some say better than Kendrick. Some say better than Drake. Like, especially off of the 4 or 5 year run that he was on, killing features and shit like that, doing his thing. So I think that's why when it comes to Cole and him delivering, Cole's discography is not really crazy. He got a few. I think his classic to me is 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I think that's really like his only like certified classic. Everything else, a lot of people say his first one was, that was some Advil, put niggas, put niggas, NyQuil, excuse me, I didn't mean to say Advil, NyQuil, put niggas to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sideline Story was cool. Now, Born Center might be borderline classic. It might be borderline classic. I think that's a great album. 2014 Forest Hill Drive, that's his classic. For Your Eyes Only, I'm cool on that. KOD, cool on that. Now, Might Delete Later, that was a great album. And then you had The All Season. The All Season, that was a good album. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was a good album. Might Delete Later was a great album. So I think Born Center was a great album. Might Delete Later was a great album. His classic is 2014 Forest Hills Drive. The others are kind of like, you could have kept that. Now, I hear a lot of people say For Your Eyes Only. They love that. They love that project. But for me, it was kind of just like, I'm cool on that because, with Cole, it was kind of like just like, I don't know. Let me see. Let me pull that up because Cole got some shit. Let me see. Let me pull up J. Cole discography real quick. We all know his mixtapes speak for themselves. We don't gotta speak about that. The mixtapes speak for themselves. So you got Sideline Story. Again, that was alright. And then you got Born Center. And then you got 2014 Forest Hill Drive. Then you got KOD. No, you got For Your Eyes Only. And then you got KOD. Then you got The All Season. You got Might Delete Later. So, pretty solid discography. But I don't think Cole is already proven. Like I said, with the rest of the big three, they pretty much, like I said, you 19 years in totally because your first mixtape came out in 2007. Album-wise, 2011. So about 15, 16 years in the game. And for Cole, like I said, man, it's not really much. This is not like a legacy. This is not like a legacy album that he has to drop. Like it impacts his legacy in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't. Like I said, he's already solidified. He's stamped in history. I'm just speaking in terms of this project alone, the way that he's, promoting it and the way you came with this, and it's a double disc. And we all know in rap history, double disc, that's something that a lot of the greats do. Big did it. Tupac did it, certified classic. Jay-Z did it with the Blueprint D, wasn't a classic, cool album. Drake did it with Scorpion, cool album. I'm trying to think of somebody else who might have did a double disc. Did Nas do a double disc? I'm not sure. But we all know that's one of the things that some of the greats dabble in. As far as, if you're going to have a discography, one of them is going to be a double disc for sure. One of them is going to be a double disc. So if Cole is coming with a double disc, I'm anticipating for it to be a classic, especially when you leave with a single like that. Like I don't want to be, I don't want to be teased. I don't want to be teased. But shout out to Jermaine Cole, man. That was a dope. That was a dope record, man. Rapping your life in reverse that's not no easy shit. That just speaks to the creativity and the visual aspect. The visual aspect was just amazing. Man. So salute to Cole. The album is dropping February 6th, and that is the fall off. So salute to him for delivering on that. So next up, some other new music. This nigga ASAP Rocky, Don't Be Dumb. Now, a lot of people wasn't really anticipating, how can I say, like any great work from ASAP, because the last couple of times we heard him, it was kind of like And honestly, the last time Rocky dropped, when was the last time Rocky dropped? I want to say it was 2020. Oh no, it was 2018. He had a single that dropped in 2022. That's My Bitch. I actually like that record. That record is fire. You seen the video, of course, Rihanna's in the video. I actually like that record, but ASAP's last album was Testing in 2018. I didn't like it. I did not like that at all. If I missed something in between, yeah, because of course you got Live Love ASAP the mixtape. You got Long Live ASAP 2013. At long last ASAP 2015, Tested 2018, and now you got Don't Be Dumb 2026. So when I first listened, I didn't really go into it with no anticipation for real. I really didn't. I was just, you know what? Let me hear it. Now, this is also a double disc, but this is a tricky double disc because on this too, it's only 2 records and then a music video. But if I'm giving my honest, I anticipated worse. I'm not even gonna hold you because ASAP don't really rap consistently like that no more. I anticipated worse, but this album ain't really that bad. It's just cool. It's cool. It's solid. I love Stole Your Flow. I like Stay Here for Life with Brent Faiyaz. That's probably my favorite record on this album is Stay Here for Life. I fuck with that. That shit is hard. I like No Trespassing. And after that, everything else is kind of just pretty much, I like Helicopter. I like Order Protection, but if I had to say my favorite on here, is Stay Here for Life with Brent Faiyaz. That's probably my favorite track on here. And yeah, Stole Your Flow is cool. But other than that, it's cool. It's cool. I thought it was gonna be worse, but it's not as bad as people was talking about. I seen a couple of people thoughts on it, but it really wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It's really not. It's cool. I probably wouldn't replay it from beginning to end all the way through because it ain't that good, but it's just solid. It's cool. It's a good effort by ASAP. And again, this is 15 tracks. On this too is 3 tracks, and like I said, one of them is a music video. But yeah, there's some of these records he definitely could have kept. I don't like Punk Rocky. I don't like Air Force. I don't like Whiskey. I don't like Robbery. Don't Be Dumb is okay. The end was Player is could have kept that. Stole Your Flow, Stay Here for Life, Helicopter. Those are cool. Stop Snitching could have kept that. No Trespassing. So like I said, it's cool. It's cool. It's solid. It's not nothing that's super ass. It ain't great. It ain't good. It's just like, it's all right. It's all right. But ASAP, man, he doing his family man life thing. You get what I'm saying? Rihanna doing her thing, then became a billionaire. They been kicking out kids over the last 2-3 years back to back, doing the family life shit. He doing this thing with fashion, of course. So ASAP, when it come to music, for me, I don't really I really don't hold him in the regards of, his legacy in music. Like this nigga is he's kind of like a chameleon with it. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's done his thing. He had classic mixtapes. Of course, ASAP Mob speaks for itself. Long Live ASAP, that was a classic album of his. So he don't really had too much for me in terms of having to prove himself this far in his career. Like he pretty much solidified in what he gave the game. He was just a good rapper. He's just been a good rapper most of his career. Gave us a couple of classic projects. That's who ASAP is. And again, he doing his family thing. He's in the fashion. We all know when it comes to, some of the best dressed rappers, especially coming around in that blog era, ASAP fit that mold. Like when you talked about fashion and rap, that's where you put him at. So ASAP Rocky's Don't Be Dumb album, like I said, cool project, not nothing crazy. It ain't ass, but it's cool. It's a couple of tracks on there that, I'll take a peep at, man. But yeah, man, this is it as far as new music. I don't think it was nothing else that dropped. Lest I missed it. Anybody else that I think is supposed to be coming? Who's supposed to be coming out? No, that's pretty much it as far as new releases. There's nobody else that I think I missed or anything like that. No, so salute to ASAP for giving me that. Keep doing your family thing. Rihanna, of course. Oh, shout out to ASAP too for beating that case too, man. Shout out to him for beating that case. That was a major case. He was going away a long time, but he ended up beating that shit. I thought he was going to take a plea deal. But he said, "Nah, I'm not doing that. So salute to them. And as far as that, so next up, gotta get into some sports shit. So we had the divisional playoffs kick off. Of course, we had the 2 games on Saturday between the Bills and Broncos, and we have 49ers and Seahawks. And, just to recap a couple of wild card games. So salute to the Texans for putting belt to ass on the Steelers. Going to talk about that situation also. And who else handled business on Sunday? The Patriots handled business versus the Chargers. Justin Herbert. Oh, my God. Justin Herbert. I got to speak about Justin. Justin Herbert still has yet to have a good playoff game in his career. And like I always say, I judge the quarterback off the performance, not the win-loss outcome. Y'all know how I feel about that. But even in those losses that he's taken, he's been bad. He's been real bad. And I thought Justin Herbert was going to go up to New England and have a masterclass. I was wrong. Oh, man, he tricked me. Justin Herbert tricked the fuck out of me because that was a disgusting display for somebody that I rank as a top five quarterback. That didn't make no sense for Justin Herbert to go out in the fashion that he did. Went up to New England, only put up 3 points. Defense did all they could. It wasn't like, New England was onslaught with the offense. It wasn't like that at all. But Justin Herbert, man, he's going to have to move down my ranks. Like, I can't have you as an elite quarterback. You don't at least have one elite playoff performance, even in the loss. Again, because I don't care about the win-loss outcome. But Justin Herbert has been terrible in his playoff tenure so far. It's not like he's going out there putting up 304 TDs and still, nah. He's playing like somebody who's not reflective of who he is in the regular season. And I got to hold him accountable for that. Who else handled business? The 49ers shocked. They shocked the Eagles. Went into Philly, handled business. Their defense got busy. Brock Purdy, salute to Brock Purdy for putting on a performance even when George Kittle went down. That was crazy. The 49ers just kept getting hit with the injury bug, man. They just kept getting hit with it. Man. So those are just as far as those wild card recaps. So getting into divisional, because of course, by the time this air show, the games that played on Sunday, and I'll recap those next week. Happened on Sunday. And y'all know I record on Sundays. So, Bills and Broncos. Classic game. Let me start off by saying that. Classic fucking game. And it seemed like early that the Bills was having the Broncos number. The Broncos, they went down. They had to settle for 3. The Bills, they get the ball. They go down. They get 7-3. Kick it off. Get a 3 and out from the Broncos. The Bills are driving. James Cook's fumble, and that is a turning point of the whole game, in my opinion, right there. Because we all know momentum is a big motherfucker in sports, especially professional sports, especially in playoff football, especially if you're the road team on the road with a lead and you turn the ball over. So they was driving, looked like they was about to go up 14-3. James Cook's fumble. Broncos go up, and then at that point, everything seems to be going the Broncos' way. They build a 23-10 lead in the third quarter. 23-10 lead. Josh Allen, he had a couple of turnovers, had a big major turnover before the half. 4 turnovers total, major turnover in the first half. But they strapped back in and they took the lead back. They was down 23-10. Josh Allen, he locked in. They went back up 27-23, and Bo Nix proceeded to walk them down. And I got to salute Bo Nix because, and I said this live tweet in the game, I'm like, win or loss, Bo Nix proved to me that he's a real baller. And I wasn't a fan of him like that coming out of college, but he is a baller. Unfortunately that he won't be able to play in the AFC Championship game, but Bo Nix proved himself. For him to go down with a minute left, deliver a dime to Marvin Mims to pretty much, get the go-ahead score at that time, of course, because the Bills came down, Josh Allen, they got them in position to kick the game-tying field goal. But Bo Nix showed his ass. Man. I gotta give credit to Bo Nix because in his first second playoff game at home, don't really got the experience like that. He got busy. He was 26 of 46 for 279, 3 TDs, 1 interception, but Bo Nix showed up, man. He showed up, and I have nothing bad to say about him. Salute to the Broncos for getting this victory. They won 33-30 in overtime. They handled business. As far as Josh Allen, this loss is completely on him. This loss is completely on Josh Allen. You can't go up on the road, especially a veteran of your stature, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and have 4 turnovers. It's just that simple. You can't have, even with you going up 27-23. If you would have cut down on the 6 you had earlier, the Bills might have won this game by 14 or 17 points. They might have, but the Broncos, they was able to capitalize, and they will be moving on to the AFC Championship game. So again, salute to Bo Nix because he proved himself to be a baller. And as far as Josh Allen, hey man, this loss is on him. I can't blame nobody else. You can't blame what about this and what about that. It all goes back to turnovers. You can't turn over the ball like that as an elite quarterback in the playoffs. You just can't do it. And leading up to this game, this honestly was Josh Allen's worst playoff game since 2022 versus Cincinnati. Outside of that, he's pretty much been a playoff riser. That's what he did. And he showed some of it in this game, but ultimately them turnovers burnt him. Man. So that was a classic game. Salute to them. That shit was crazy. That was a crazy game, bro. That was a crazy game. That shit didn't end until I thought it was gonna go into a double overtime. That's how crazy that shit was. Thought it was gonna go into a double overtime. So moving on to the next game. Seahawks and 49ers. I had the 49ers going up there and winning this game because I simply don't believe in Sam Darnold. I thought Brock Purdy was riding on some high momentum, especially going into Philly and taking down the 2 seed in the fashion that, they did. The defense is clicking, all those guys on the same accord. And on the first play of the game, Shaheed takes that bitch back to the house, and that pretty much just set the tone. That set the tone right there. It really wasn't much to discuss after that point because San Francisco never was able to make it a game. They went for it on the 4th down on a terrible 4th down call. I don't know what the fuck Shanahan was thinking. He did a fullback handoff on some option type shit trying to go to Christian McCaffrey. You can't go side to sideline on the Seattle defense, man. But their defense remained as advertised. Sam Darnold, it was questionable him coming into the game because he had a bad oblique injury. They say he hadn't been throwing the ball all week. We thought we was going to see Drew Lock. But Sam Darnold, he was manageable. 124 passing yards, 1 TD. Kenneth Walker ran for player of the game, really. He ran for 116 yards, had 3 touchdowns, player of the game easily. Their defense completely shut down the 49ers. Brock Purdy only had 140 yards passing, 1 interception. He led the team in rushing, actually, with 37 yards. Christian McCaffrey had 35 yards rushing. Jake Tonjes, he led them in receptions, but he left with an Achilles. It was just, it was a feel-good story for the 49ers for what they was doing, but they couldn't overcome the injuries, and Seattle was locked in from beginning. Shout out to Seattle because they're clicking on all cylinders right now. They're riding high with confidence, and they'll be hosting, the NFC Championship game at home. So they look like they might be heading back to the Super Bowl. And as long as Sam Darnold doesn't fuck it up, they could be hosting the Lombardi Trophy. They could be hosting the Lombardi Trophy. Um, and of course, by the time the show airs, this game's already done happened. But I think I already gave my predictions as far as the divisional round. And if not, I'm gonna do it again. As far as Bears and Rams, I got the Bears winning that game. I just can't go against the Bears no more, man. I'm tired of betting against some guys. It just seems like as if they just be clicking. They just be clicking, man. And I just see an outcome. I think it'll be in the high 20s, maybe low 30s range. I got like a final score 31-27 type or 32-29, somewhere around there. I just think the Bears are just, they're riding with a confidence that they cannot be beat. As far as Patriots and Texans, I think the Texas defense still is as advertised. I think they go in and I think they handle their BI. I think they go in and handle their motherfucking business, and they beat the Patriots. No disrespect to Drake May. Y'all know I love Drake May, but I think that defense is that good. I said it earlier. I think the Texas defense is good enough for them to ride them to the Super Bowl. Now, I will say CJ Stroud, even though he had 3 turnovers in that Pittsburgh game, but their defense was able to generate 2 touchdowns. But CJ Stroud definitely can't go into New England turning the ball over. It might not bowl the same way. It might not bowl the same way, so he better be careful. He better be careful, bro. He better be careful. But I do got the Texans winning this game. I think it'll be a low scoring game. I think Texans win like 20-10. I think the Texans win like 20. It's just their defense is just that nasty, man. I'm sorry. And again, I love Drake May. I love what the Patriots doing. But I think they go up there and handle business. I think CJ Stroud has a better game as far as protecting the ball and making plays. Nico Collins will be out for this game. I think Gonzalez will be out for this game too, but I don't think that'll matter. I think the Texans are just riding the high to where they're going to handle their business. They're going to handle that business. And we'll have a Broncos and Texans AFC Championship game. And it's going to be crazy that Jerry Stidham going to have to start that game because, man, Bo Nix breaking his ankle is crazy. I didn't even see the play. They said it happened on the play that he threw the late go ahead TD to Marvin Mims, but that's crazy, bro. That just sucks. That sucks. Especially coming off the game that he had. That's unfortunate as fuck, bro. That's so fucked up. So salute to the playoff weekend. I mean, salute the playoff football, through the first 2 rounds. This shit has been good outside, of course, the San Francisco and Seattle game. But these games have been good so far. And, it's going to see what we're going to do from here. Excuse me. So moving on next. The NFL coaching carousel. This shit has been crazy. So Mike Tomlin stepped down. John Harbaugh is out of Baltimore, and he's going to New York. He is going to the New York Giants. I think the Giants got a great coach. I wasn't a fan of them firing John Harbaugh. I think John Harbaugh is one of the great coaches, but they say he, 18 years. But I always said I felt like the Ravens' issues is personnel. Their issues is personnel. Like they never really have been able to give Lamar Jackson a true number one and solidified number 2 receiver. You get what I'm saying? Even with him having the MVP seasons that he had, because of course, I mean he's that great of a quarterback. He's top 5 quarterback without a doubt in the league, without a doubt. But I always say I don't care how good my quarterback is. I'm gonna give him the best of the best. And I feel like they ultimately couldn't get it done because they had those bad plays, they had those bad turnovers. Lamar had a couple of playoff games where he was in position to put the Ravens in the lead. Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers. We all know, I don't got to say, Zay Flowers fumbling at the goal line. And then, Mark Andrews dropping the game tying, 2-point conversion. And, even in that AFC Championship game, Lamar Jackson had a terrible interception. But I still think that John Harbaugh wasn't the issue. He definitely wasn't the issue. And I think they needed to address their roster, not their coaching. But I'm interested to see what direction they go. And, being that John Harbaugh is in New York, now I think that's a good fit. I think it's going to take some time. But ultimately, I think he'll get the Giants back to, relevance. They do have Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, in the games that I've seen, he's been pretty good, but he got to learn to protect himself. He got to learn to protect himself. Mike Tomlin, he stepped down as far as Pittsburgh, never had a losing season, but he hasn't had a playoff victory in 10 years. And he hasn't won a Super Bowl since 2008. And his last Super Bowl appearance was 2010. So, you know, that pretty much ran its course. Aaron Rodgers, most likely he won't be back. So I'm interested to see where Pittsburgh is go. Hopefully they hire my Panthers defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero. Excuse me, not trying to mess up your name. I know I said that last time as well, but hopefully they give him a job so he get out of Carolina. Hopefully, Raiders' job is still open. The Falcons, they just hired Stefanski. I think that was a great hire. I think that's a dope hire, 2-time coach of the year. So yeah, man, these coaching vacancies are still open. So we just gonna have to see where they're gonna fall at. I don't know what Mike Tomlin plans are. I think he might take off. As far as coaching, let me see. Because let me see what these vacancies are looking like for right now. Cleveland is still open. Arizona's still open. Pittsburgh's still open. Miami's still open. The Raiders are still open. I think Evero done had 2 interviews with the Raiders. Falcons, they just got Stefanski. Tennessee is still open. And Baltimore is still open. It'd be crazy if Tomlin went to the Ravens. That'd be crazy if Tomlin went to the Ravens, bro. That'd be real, real crazy. That'd be insane. So we just have to wait and see how that unfolds as well, man. We'll definitely have to wait and see how that unfolds as far as that. But these coaching vacancies have kind of been somewhat surprising as far as this off season, just in terms of where everybody's going at, who was let go, who stepped down. Tomlin and Harbaugh stepping down. It's just, it's crazy. And the Steelers still have only had 3 coaches in their whole existence: Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. So now they're gonna have a new regime. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got as far as the coaching. I don't think I'm pretty much missing anything. We'll just have to see how that unfolds throughout the week. I wanted to speak about Rich Paul real quick. I definitely wanted to speak about Rich Paul because to me, Rich Paul has been doing a lot. He has been doing a lot. Everybody knows he has this podcast now with Max Kellerman. And, it's been stirring up a lot of controversy. It's been stirring up a lot of controversy. Agents have approached him. I think recently Austin Reeves' agent approached Rich Paul about, him talking about what the Lakers should do as far as trades. And let me say this. Anybody can have a podcast. I don't care who you are. Anybody can have a podcast. We all know that's what players are doing now. But with Rich Paul, it's a little bit different. And him being an active NBA agent, if you're going to do a podcast, do it. But you actively talking about what teams should do with players you represent on the team that they play for is out of pocket, in my opinion. You shouldn't be talking about what the Lakers should be doing in terms of trading who and trading that and, what other players should be doing. Bro, you're an agent, an active one at that. Like, if you want to talk pop culture and do all that other shit, that's fine. But you really crossing the line in terms of talking about trades and what players should be moved because you could be impacting other players' money. Like, it's a conflict of interest, in my opinion. You shouldn't be doing that shit. And if you was gonna do a podcast with the guys of that, Max Kellerman should have shot that shit down. Because that don't bode well for him neither. It's like, bro, just if you I seen a little clip of them talking about rap, like they favorite rap albums and shit like that. My nigga, do that. Talk about shit like that. Don't be up there on your platform talking about what teams and what trades should be made as an active NBA free agent, my nigga. That's wild. And I'm surprised the NBA hasn't said anything about that shit, bro. Like, that shit is kind of crazy. And, for if with Austin Reeves' agent approaching Rich Paul, I feel him on that, bro. Like, hey, bro, like, you talking about an active, you possibly impacting my pockets. You get what I'm saying? Like, you possibly impacting my client. Like, no, bro, no, don't be speaking on players and trade scenarios as an active NBA free agent, my nigga. You are out of pocket, bro. That shit is crazy. And, it's like he's sitting up there like he really just don't give a fuck. And I'm like, oh, this nigga, like, real bold with it, bro. Like, that shit is crazy. That shit is just crazy to me. And I think it's really gonna it's really gonna have the time where they're gonna have to sit back and really evaluate in terms of what's really been going on. And I think that because he kind of was already wild in terms of what the Lakers should do alone. But when the Austin Reeves shit came up, that's kind of like, all right, bro, like that's it. Like enough is enough. Like we got to stop that. Like this can't happen. And I feel him on that because I feel like a lot of times anyway, and I said this before, a lot of niggas is starting podcasts anyway because it's a gimmick to them. They don't really love it for real. They just want to get on the mic. It might be a money grab. Not saying that Rich Paul need the money, but a lot of them, they might just be bored. But it's an art that come with it as well, and there's some integrity that comes with it as well, depending on what your profession is. Because understand, just because you have a podcast, that doesn't mean that's your true profession. You might have another profession. You got business people who are who have podcasts. You have authors who have podcasts. You have chefs who have podcasts. Podcasts are just not for strictly broadcasters. Like you could be in any field and have one, but you got to carry it a certain way, bro. And like I said, there's no other agents out here with podcasts speaking about potential trade deals. You shouldn't be doing shit like that. Like that's fucked up. And I think it's honestly a slap in the face to the players, bro. Let me see, because Rich Paul had some kickback in terms of all the backlash he was getting. So in response, Paul smiled cynically and declared that he was not an agent in front of the microphone. Paul said, right now, we're talking about basketball, but the agent says I shouldn't talk about basketball. So I'm not an agent. It's just a podcast. He said, I'm not agent while I'm on the show. Agent shouldn't do podcasts. So I'm a media panelist and I'm a media manager. Please don't call me an agent for an hour now. It's like my third job. It's my happy space. Isn't there a happy place for everyone? But I don't know why you think I'm the only one who can't. Well, it's okay. He added. Yeah. So, being funny with it, getting his little jokes off and shit like that. But dog, like I said, if you and Max on there, y'all talking about hip hop, y'all talking about what's going on politically, y'all talking about your favorite foods, places to visit, old stories, cool. But leave that trade talk shit alone, my nigga. That shit is a dub. Stop doing that. That's way out of pocket, bro. Definitely out of pocket. And that shit corny, really, in my opinion. Like that shit is corny. Yeah, man. So that's pretty much all I got. That's pretty much all I got for this week. I want to thank y'all for tapping in with me, checking in with me as always. Please make sure that y'all lock in on your goals. You not procrastinating. We're not even at February yet, so hopefully you ain't gave up. As far as going in the gym, get your ass in that gym, stay your ass in that gym, and run it up. And ultimately, man, keep your head down, keep going. There ain't always gonna be bright days, and there ain't always gonna be sunny days. All that, you're gonna have some slip ups. Funny story, real quick, before I get up out of here this morning, because I record at the same time every Sunday morning. Every time I come in here, I set up, put my hard drive in. That shit wasn't reading. So that set me back about a couple of hours. Had to wait for the store to open up. Well, I ordered it online. Shout out to the store for having the hard drive that I needed. But shit like that, man, you can't just, one monkey don't stop no show. And that's how you got to approach your life. That's how you got to approach your goals. Don't let one monkey stop your show. Ain't no need to panic. Ain't no need to get up in arms. Just keep pushing and doing your motherfucking thing, man. Keep doing your thing. And ultimately, being safe. Please be safe. So like I say every week, man, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike. And I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.